All right, guys. Look at my new cameraman, Alexis. We're here at C3, and we're having our membership meeting. I'm going to let Alexis take it because I've got to do some talking. Now she's going to... Me, you've never seen before, always behind the camera. But we're here at C3. We have people on the board. You guys come out to C3. We got beautiful snacks. We're sponsored by Aynor Family Dental. We're going to talk about where we've been, where we're going, and we're taking questions from everybody in the audience to see what they want to do here, how they feel about what we're doing, and the things we want to do in the future. So Alexis is going to walk you around, kind of see what's going on. Hopefully we start here soon.
Oh, well, I understand.
Send them out, they point those things out.
Here's the guys think about falls out when I think about it.
It's live. You see somebody come on, you see their name pop up, you say their name too. Hey, 3, I can't tell who it is.
Hello, Maxine Bellamy. We're here at C3 if anybody wants to join. I didn't get that.
Are you following?
If someone will chair a welcome committee, being able to go to the meeting, all the way to 2 days here where you can go here. That's one of the ideas.
So, is she one more for sale?
Dennis has got this one. I'll tell you that's what the difference is. That's what it's about. That's what it's about. You're supposed to be me and Brandon kicking.
I do that on our
I mean, it's just not
Looks like we got some new members over here. You guys mind telling me who you guys are?
We're second painting.
All of you? And what's your names?
This is Jay Shelley, Brandon King, and I'm Jonathan Holt.
Well, Holt? I'm also a Holt.
Isn't it a wonderful thing?
It is. Hi, and who are you?
Jim Becker, I'm with Greenfield Estates. I'm the treasurer.
Okay, awesome. You guys want to introduce yourselves?
That's Becky.
And your name?
First choice.
First choice plumbing. Awesome. Can you introduce yourself? Okay. Can you introduce yourself? Hi, you guys want to introduce yourselves?
Nick Jordan.
Okay, from?
Uncaged. Greg Hardy. Hardy Johnson.
Okay. From? Aynor. Oh, okay. Okay, all right. Well, welcome. How you want to introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Amy Flora, Horry County Council on Aging.
Okay, awesome.
Thank you.
Oh, I guess we're going to start.
So we value your input and your time, and we're going to get started so we can get going. So, first of all, tonight we want to thank Josh Parker. He is responsible tonight. Josh has been a dentist in the Aynor area for a little over 10 years, and he has a beautiful new facility that was built about 5 years ago. And we are very excited to have him in the community, especially as a team player. He and his wife were born and raised in Horry County. They have 3 beautiful little boys, and I'm going to let Josh say a few words about Aynor and his business.
Well, thank you for the opportunity to be here and to support the chamber. I was excited to have the opportunity to come out. Over the last 10 years, Aynor sure has grown so much. I remember when I started, it resembled what it was like when I was in high school. Small, 2-stoplight town. But man, there's so much growth going on. And I'm just happy to be a part of it. I remember seeing the chamber, we did get it started about probably 8 or 10 years ago, was it? Yeah. Yeah, you were a big part of it. And it was about 4 or 5 of us that would meet once a month. And obviously it's changed a whole lot in the last 8 or 10 years. So I'm glad to be a part of it. I'm glad to be a business owner in my hometown. I'm glad to treat the people in the community, and I was happy to have the opportunity to sponsor today. So there's plenty of food, and there's even more than what we got laid out. So I hope some of y'all are hungry.
Thank you, Josh. Also want to give a shout out and a special thank you to C3 for allowing us to have this here at their beautiful facility. So the mission of the Aynor Chamber is we exist to strengthen the economic foundation of our town while preserving the welcoming small town spirit that makes Aynor unique. By promoting local enterprise, supporting collaboration, and encouraging responsible growth, we help ensure that Aynor continues to thrive for generations to come. Current leadership and governance of this organization is 8 board members, and David Dorman is our president. David, does everyone love the corner? Myself, Emily Griffin is the treasurer that greeted you all when you came in. Ryan Graham is our secretary to help put this all together. And Trey Andrews, one of our board members. Paulette Johnson, board member, and the face of the Aynor Chamber. Sandy J. Lewis is a board member, and also Trent Hardy in the back is also one of our board members. So when we got started, we kind of thought about what values we felt that the community wanted most, and so that's what we're going to hear from you tonight. And the things that we felt may be important to you all is marketing and promotion for your businesses, education and training, community integration, events and networking, advocacy and representation, and member support. So these are a few of the ideas that we've used so far for the events that are going to be talked about by Paulette.
Hi, I'm Paulette. I'm always doing Facebook stuff, so if you ever wonder who that's me. I'm going to talk about one of the things that we did last year, which I think for coming out the gate, we did pretty darn good. We had a board that worked really hard. So on the business promotion side of it, we've done ribbon cutting, milestones, membership spotlights. So far, we did 7 different ribbon cuttings for new businesses in town, which is cool because new business. We had Nook on Ninth, Corner Outpost, Clipper Barn, the new gym venue for the Rock right over there, the new China King, of course, the Little River Medical Center out on 501, and the Ferry Market moved from Santino's to right in the heart of town. And those were all ribbon cutting, new business, right, or she was a reopened kind of thing. And then the milestones this year, we had Coastal Land and Home, we had the 20th anniversary of business in Aynor. Johnson Funeral Home had 20 years. Echo 6 shooting range, that had 5 years, but their business, Echo 6 Outdoor, was 10 years anniversary. And earlier this year, we just celebrated Paramedic Insurance right on the corner for 20 years. So those are really good ways that we like to promote businesses and so forth. Local advocacy back in, what was it? We had in October. Back in October, we did a Your Voice, Your Aynor, a Q&A with local leaders. We're at the high school October 20th of last year. Sandy, she's kind of like our opening girl and keeps things going. So she introduced, we had Senator Jeff Johnson, State Senator Kent Williams, we had Horry County Councilman Al Allen, and we had Lucas Atkins, who was the Southern House of Representatives. We had a nice group of guys out there. They were talking about what was happening in our area, about open forum just like this, where people could say things, talk about things that was happening in our community in Aynor. It was very well received. I'm pretty sure we'll probably do that again. We also did meet the candidates. So we had, if you didn't hear it, we had a council, new mayor and filling council seats. So we did a meet the candidates. At the time there was Robbie Taylor, Paula Creel, Watkins McCracken, Malcolm Vaughn, Karen Durham, and Landon Johnson were all up for it. Of course, Landon became the mayor, and Willie Taylor and Michael Dawn filled the 2 council seats. So we had like a meet them at the town. It was really good. We had a good little turnout. Everybody got to ask some questions. Still, the whole part of like open forum. You tell us what you want, that sort of thing. And events. Of course, we had the Aynor's Farmers Market. Mr. David started that. It starts June to August last year. We had a good turnout for like really never doing one that I remember, but that my memory's shot. I'm old. But anyway, so we had it. It was June to August, and we had vendors come out. We had like over 20 vendors at one time. It was on a Saturday from 8 to 12. People came out. Basically, that's part of us like bringing people into town to help businesses, right? And then we had the cruising car show, which is another David baby. It's a cruise which we did it last year and the year before. We probably had almost 100 cars.
More than
Yeah, they filled this whole parking lot and across the street, had a lot of people walking around. They gave out prizes, for the best car. There were some really nice cars. If you want to see any of them, go to our Facebook page. There's one of every one. They were all really cool. Again, bringing people into town and promoting help businesses. The trunk or treat was, I would say, is one of our big success stories this year. We tried it for the first time. It was super delicious. Trick or treat, and we let all the members have first dibs to be a vendor at the park, and they got to decorate their cars, the trunks and stuff, and we had some really cool ideas. People did some, like Ryan, he had Aynor Health and Fitness, he had people like doing sit-ups and push-ups for candy. It was really cool. We had pirates, it was really cool. We had food trucks and all that stuff out there. I would say at least 2,000 plus people showed up for that. The line was wrapping around. There were so many people. And how the police there, so people felt really safe and not worried, like their kids were good. And it was very successful for our first year. And then the Christmas parade, which a lot of people don't know, that's actually a Chamber of Commerce event. We've been hosting that for years and years and years, except when we kind of went down the city to go. Well, now we got it back. We have a great lady that runs it. Basically it's bringing people to town, promoting the businesses and that sort of stuff. So we do as much as we can for all this to advertise and market everybody and everything that we do. Y'all got another slide? Oh, these are new members. Okay, so last year, this is a really awesome statistic. Last year we don't have 36 members. This year we got 61. That's pretty good. 62.
62.
That's a list of all the members. We have lots of different industries, and you can go on our website. Our website's pretty fleshed out. You can go on there. Everybody that's a member has their own membership page. You have control of that membership page. You can log in, add pictures, add a marketing message, add coupons, whatever you want to do. I'm always here to help you, but So our membership levels are, we have $75 for an individual or nonprofit. Then we have $100 for a government or educational institution. Small business, if you have less than 10 employees, that's $150. If you have more than 10, that's $200. And then if you're like a bank or an industry or utility company, somebody, it's $350. Membership runs from January to December. If you happen to join in November, then that membership will flip over to the next year.
So first, let me apologize. I know this is a bit of an eye chart. It's probably really tough to see in the back. This is part of our learning curve. Like last year, we were in the big auditorium and we felt like we were speaking in echoes, you know. And tonight, thank you for coming. You're a big part of really what makes this chamber is going to be successful is you guys. It's not the 8 people or 9 people on the board. It's our membership. So it's our second membership meeting since kicking things back off. As Josh alluded to, you know, the town is growing really fast, and our goal here really is more about, you know, making sure we're advocates for the local businesses that are here, and also opening up some spaces, utilizing the spaces we already have for, you know, new business to come to town. And we believe a thriving business community makes a better community overall, and it's something that I have to tip my cap to Mr. David in the corner. He doesn't say this a lot, but you know, this has been his baby, kind of going the last 3 or 4 years. And he had this vision, and he's assembled what I believe is a great. Is really, we kind of joke, she is the face of our organization because she just gets stuff out there for us. She's got our website going, our social media. She is a rock star in that regard. We've got a great board. Some of you will hear from tonight. But I just want to say thank you for being here. What my part of this presentation, I get the fun stuff. I get to talk about what's coming up. So Paulette talked a little bit about the rearview mirror, some things we've done last year. And it was a year of growth. We're trying to get things started. We tried not to bite off more than we could chew in year one. We are a small organization. We are looking for more help and more people we have involved. The trunk or treat is a great example. I think we started out with 23 spots. I think I could have filled 40 spots. We just weren't really sure. It's a first year thing. And that probably was one of our hallmark events, key events of the year. The legislative event was also a pretty pivotal event for us, because what we wanted to do is let our local legislators know, both on the state, county, and local levels, that our businesses here in town matter, and we have a voice, and that's really what the chamber's about. So I'll share some of that tonight, some things, but we want to hear from you. So, you know, raise your hand if you got a question, stop me. We'll be glad to answer questions. We got some smart people on our board, again, minus me, and so I just want to give you an opportunity to go some question and answers at the end to section. So please, we want to hear from you. This meeting will not be successful if nobody asks questions, if you don't give us some good ideas. That's what we're here for. So we appreciate that. I'm going to speak to this again. I know it's a bit of an eye chart, but this is a little bit of a look ahead. If Paulette was looking at the rearview mirror, I'm looking into the windshield. And what our plans are for this year. And one of the things that I really like about our board is we have great ideas. There's a lot of great ideas out there. And one of the things we have to be very mindful of is making sure we do things, we pick off the things we can do. If we get too many things, we won't do them very well. And so again, biting off more than we can chew. But the goal here tonight is to share a little bit with our membership, you know, what we want to do and how we're trying to promote this locally. So first, for marketing and promotion, the website, if you have not been to our website, please go. It is a phenomenal website. It's got a lot of good information. When we get questions in town with our work at town hall, if somebody comes in and says, hey, I need a plumber, I need a painter, where's the local gym, what's the best, you know, where's the bank? Like, they are pointing folks to our website now. You know, they had a little section on their website trying to do some things, but we are doing, I think, a much better job of promoting our members. And as an example, some of you, we reached out to you because the town was kind enough to share with us a list of businesses, and the county was kind enough to share all the businesses that get business license in the 29511 and 29544 zip code. We want to make this an Aynor area, not just town of Aynor, but an Aynor area chamber, because all our local businesses really make us stronger and better. And so, so So check out the website. I've got a link at the end of this presentation. You can see one of us afterwards if you don't. She's already touched on ribbon cuttings and milestones. That's a great way to celebrate your business. I'm a part owner in a local gym. You can't tell it, but I am a part owner in a local gym. And, you know, it was something my dad started a few years ago with a couple other investors. And you know, you turn around and 25 years has gone by. And it's a little bit of a legacy for him, you know, just celebrating something he started 25 years ago. Those are some pretty cool stories to tell. I mean, the fact that we've got businesses in town that have been here for over 50 years, over, you know, some probably touching 70, I think even. It's pretty cool. That's a pretty cool part of our story. We don't want to forget our history, but we also want to look forward in the future. So if you've got something, reach out to Paulette. I promise you, she will get it out there. She is a rock star on that. I mentioned social media spotlight. So events and networking, that's an area we're trying to figure out. I'll be quite honest here. We want to get together, but a business community and anybody who runs good, small, local businesses, they don't have a lot of time. Let's be honest. If you're working and doing a good job, you don't have a lot of time to do these things, a lot of these events. So we're going to have some events after hours. We're going to do some things in the morning, and we're going to have some lunch and learns, what we call a little bit of a lunch and learn, where, you know, coming up in the next, I think, April 21st. We're at this location, and the coffee shop's been a great host for us. We're having a small business. Emily, why don't you share a little bit about it? Because it's your bank. I'll mess it up. I'm just going to mess it up. So, Emily, why don't you share? Your bank's going to come in and share.
Yeah, so we're actually doing what you need to know about SBA lending, the ins and outs, and how to navigate SBA. So a lot of people, when they go to look for lending, startups, it's kind of hard, or even business that with a little bit of risk associated, they have a hard time getting capital. So how can you use the SBA to help grow your business? So kind of get you prepared, help you get that package put together, and kind of the mindset around how to move forward with that, and that's being sponsored with TD Bank.
Yeah. Thank you, Emily. Appreciate that. You know, I helped start a business over in this town of Lola about 3 years ago, and getting access to funds is a big deal when you're starting up, and I think all our small business owners in here would acknowledge that. So we just recognize right off that's one of the things we needed to do. And TD Bank was kind enough to do that, to sponsor us. So mark your calendars. A lot of our stuff is on our website and our Facebook page, so just a reminder there. That will be a lunch session from 12 to 1. So I'm sure you're sticking around later for questions afterwards. We talked about, you know, local events. We're going to try to make our events bigger and better. So we kind of filled the park up last year with our youth trunk or treat, kind of one of our fun events. We had a few more spaces available. Our s'more station was pretty cool, sponsored by Hardy Insurance. You know, that was just another cool little add-on we've done. I hope this year we're going to add on a few more things. The town has been absolutely wonderful to work with us on these events. We hope to maybe even grow it to the area next door between the basketball courts and the town hall. We hope we have more of you guys who want to say, hey, I want to put a trunk in. I want to win a prize and bless these kids and these families and get a little local business recognition. She joked about I made them do push-ups for candy, but it really was. I had kids coming back on planes.
He was holding up a line.
I mean, so I had, as a local business owner, I had a lot of opportunity to engage with parents and talk to them. It was just a fun time. And so those are some good events. The legislative events also is something we're going to try to do every year. Get our local county council, our state senator, our local House of Representatives member, and certainly our town council involved as well in some of these events, and it's a place for you to come in and ask questions, hear some vision about some things they want to do. And one of the lessons, if we learned anything last year, was if you'll ask, we will help. And that was pretty clear from at least our state and local representation. So we, as a chamber, understand we are your voice, kind of a funnel to come in and ask for some of these things. And we'll get into some of that in a little bit later, but it's good for us to show up to these events because there's power in numbers. And as a local business community, when you come to these events and the state senator's there or the local House of Representative member is there, and he realizes how many votes or how many voices are behind the chamber, it is really impactful. I can't say that enough. So encourage you as much as you can. If you can't come, send somebody from your business. Just fill these places up. It really helps. We will be having some of those. We've kind of targeted the fall area. Obviously, it's around election time, so probably September, October, is when we're trying to do some of these events, and that's when these folks are out on the streets. State House is not in session at that time, so it's just a good time to do some of those things. Business after hours, we haven't done one of those yet, but we'd love to do a few more of those. If you got a local business, a space in town, and have space for us, doesn't have to be a huge space. We can drop in. These ribbon cuttings have been pretty cool in terms of what Josh has done tonight's an example of just getting to come in and lay out a spread. We had coffee trucks show up and food trucks show up to these events. These are cool times just to enjoy and learn more about businesses. For instance, Little River Medical Center, which I think was one of our recent ribbon cuttings. That facility is amazing. It's right here in our backyard. Yeah, it really is. You learn a lot about the local businesses. So those business after hours events, if you're interested in hosting one, let us know. We will absolutely partner with you. We mentioned some education and training. The only other thing I'll mention in that topic, some of the things we're working with, two particular things. We've reached out to both our local FFA and program here at the high school and our DECA club, which is basically the old, business, young business leaders, or basically, and so what we're trying to do is advocate at the high school level for these folks to come in and support some of our events, to learn from local business owners. Maybe there's some internship opportunities or some summer help. I know Mr. David would love some folks to come grind some grits for him in the summertime and give him a little break, or pop some popcorn. But getting these younger kids involved, and I'm going to throw out two ideas that we've been kicking around. One will probably take place in the fall, and how we're trying to engage the younger generation and what's going on in their local community. One thing we've got on docket that's not finalized, so I really hate to say too much about it, but we really have to do kind of a Christmas tree sale this year. And we said, why are you doing a Christmas tree sale? We're really not here to raise money. We need money to operate, there's no doubt. We use the dues and things, but really what we're trying to do is draw people into town and to show them that businesses can thrive here. And so one of our things is we hope to sell some live Christmas trees, maybe a space out on 8th Avenue or here on South and North Main, with some Christmas lights and some hot cocoa at night, and just have some fun and get some people downtown to see some of these things. And it could eventually turn into food trucks and local vendors get set up. And, you can imagine what it could be, right? Another thing, I think recently this year we found out that Building Supply wasn't doing a plant sale. One of our local greenhouses is no longer kind of aged out. They're not selling plants anymore, so we thought about, hey, why don't we do some plant sales? It'll bring some folks downtown, at least for a couple weeks, partner with our FFA. We kind of got started on that late this year, but our hope is maybe next year, working with our FFA teams to help support their programs. They have a big plant sale this Saturday. If you haven't heard about it already, up at the high school, they grow a lot of their own plants earlier in the year in their greenhouses, but all the space they have. They buy a few things as well. It's a good way to support our local programs. So just some different ideas on some education and training. It's not just for us, it's also for that next generation. Advocacy and representation here in a minute. I'm going to hand this over to Trent to talk a little about some things that are going on advocacy-wise. But Sandy, who got it first, she didn't say a whole lot about herself, but she is a rock star as well known in the county with economic development. She runs our Myrtle Beach Economic Development Group, and she's got a lot of good contacts for us. And we want to see more of that business growth within the organization. Sandy was a local business owner here in town just recently, and she knows what it means to start kind of from nothing and come in and revamp a place, right, and do the remodeling. But local advocacy, I can't say enough about how well things have gone with the Aynor Town Hall, new town manager, new mayor, council have been so welcoming to us. They have really embraced us. I use the food truck issue in town has been something that we've seen on social media and other places, and the difficulties of kind of doing some food truck stuff. Listen, we understand as a local, if I own a local restaurant or a place in town, I understand, you know, the brick and mortar conversation and what a local food truck means. It is competition to some degree, but you know, we understand both sides of that issue. What we're really trying to do from a chamber's perspective on this particular topic, for instance, is just to advocate for some fair standards, to give food trucks an opportunity to come in, and our hope is if you can sell enough out of a food truck, you can show that a brick and mortar location can happen here. You know, there have been some rumors and speculation, but you can't put a restaurant in town because you can't get a liquor license. You can't make any money with a restaurant if you don't sell alcohol. Listen, we want to be an advocate, a good, responsible advocate for good, solid growth. We're not here to promote alcohol sales. That's not our job. But our job is, as a chamber, is to show people there's a location here in town, a sit-down breakfast place, a sit-down lunch place. We love our fast food places, right? Because those are good for certain things. But I want to sit down and talk to you about your business, and I can't always do that at a fast food joint or at a convenience store. We love those locations. We need those. But I can't always build community around those places. And what we're trying to do is build some community. So those are the type of advocacy things we really advocate for this food truck. We're being told if everything goes according to perfect plan, by May, there will be a new food truck ordinance here in town, allowing food trucks to buy a one-time license for a year long to operate any day of the year. I think right now today, you only get a temporary permit for 3 days. And so our hope is that we've been working with the town and council on this issue. And some pictures I got to show you here in a minute. I think you'll understand why we've been doing that as well. So those are some local things. Trent, I'll hand it over to you. He's going to talk about some infrastructure things. So he's an engineer by trade. Jack of many
Don't
trades.
go very far. I'm not going to talk long. There's not a lot to talk about. No, but we do recognize as a chamber, we cannot do the town council's job, right? Their job to make sure we get things in place to manage our infrastructure, you know, all our water, drainage, stormwater drainage. But we do have some ideas of some ways we can maybe incorporate some things with stormwater around our town to maybe make it fun. And so it sounds kind of weird. I can't get to the details right now because we're working on that. But I had a conversation today with David Gilreath, who is the county administrator, and we're working on some things with stormwater to see what we can do, figure out some ways maybe we can do some fun things. So those are the kinds of things we're trying to do as a chamber, bring up some ideas to make the town have basically a gathering place, you know? You ever been to a small town and you think, wow, that's a really neat small town. I like how they did the downtown area. You know, that's somebody planned that. That didn't just happen. And so as advocacies in the infrastructure side, that's what we gotta do. I made a mistake and put a post on Facebook about a roundabout at Vault Road in 319, a year or so ago. And thought it was a great idea. Some people did, but it's an idea to like get people around town better, a centralized hub in downtown. I did find out this week that probably will not happen. The state studies came back and there was not enough traffic to mandate that. They don't want to block up 319. So I was trying to create an obstacle so it wouldn't be so advantageous to make 319 a shortcut on Sundays, you know what I mean? So anyway, but seriously though, getting back to it, the whole idea about what we have in Aynor is that we have nothing that is out of our control right now. As we grow, we're still young enough in growth that we can actually get ahead of the curve. If we don't do some planning now, if we don't do some thinking now, we're going to get run over by it. So our goal is to try to be that advocate. If you have a vacant property in town, we know it's a big risk to come to town council. You got to go before planning and zoning. You got to find out what your water and sewer, requirements are, what your parking spaces are. All those types of things. We can help as a board to help answer some of those questions for you and take your idea to town council to have those conversations as your chamber. That's what we're here for. We want to be that voice for you so we can maybe clear up that familiar waters. Does that make sense? Or any questions on that in the room right now? Because we do have a lot of vacant properties. They have property owners that have had these properties in families for long times, and they don't know what to do with it. They don't understand, like, what can I do with it, So I have a list. I have a list of people that are looking right now for places Aynor to rent. And I'm telling you, it's at least 10 different companies, or anything from an engineering company to a nutrition shop, to a jewelry shop, to a, what's the other, came up this past week. They got a chiropractor coming to town. All those things are things we're trying to get here. And I think what it is, as David said this best, as Aynorites, we're tired of driving across the traffic in Myrtle Beach and Carolina Forest to get what we want. We want that to be here. And so that's kind of what we're trying to work towards, is how can that best develop this area but not lose our hometown feel. That's what we want. We want someone to drive through there and say, wow, this is a neat little town. You know, that's what we're going to be drawn to. So anyway, any other questions on that? Anything else?
I think it's good, Trent.
I mean,
one of the things Trent mentioned was, you know, on the town, believe it or not, we, you know, got, they got, not believe it or not, they have a planning board that meets on all rezonings and those kind of things. They make a recommendation to council, right? They're not the governing body that makes the decision, but they're the ones that make the recommendations, right? And, we sat down with them this week, actually last week, and talked with them about what do you want to see from a business when they come in and want to do a remodel or rezone or take a property and maybe revamp it. What are some of the things you'd like to see? So we are just trying to be an advocate for the business community. And our hope is that once, you know, one person has done it and walked that path, and that one person can help teach the next 3 people, right? And those 4 people then, once they walk through it, they can teach the next 10 people what it takes to kind of walk through successfully, working with their neighbors, working with local laws and ordinances. And we'll get into some of that later. But you know, the thing I want you to hear above all is that we're your advocate. You don't try to do it alone. That's really the thing. You can't do it alone. It's a community, and it's a great thing for us to work together as a chamber and advocate together on your behalf. So I'll leave that for later. This is an example of the town. I know it's really hard to see, and you can look at it after if you want to come up. We'll leave this up. But this is the town map, planning map. And so the areas you see in red and dark red are really what are considered the business district areas that are currently zoned for businesses in town. The yellows are more the residential. The orange is the sort of planned residential areas. Beautiful spaces, we give an example of that. And then the blues you see are like a light industrial zoning classification in our current zoning regulations. And we know as the community grows, you're going to see a little bit more red sprawl on this map, or some more blue, a little bit more blue, I'd say. Mainly the red sprawl and those yellow areas will start becoming more business districts. We're not here to run residents out of town. That's not our intent. Our number one goal is to take the properties that are in these red districts, if they're not being used today, is to find good uses for those properties. And to encourage our property owners who own these things, as Trent mentioned earlier, how can they best be utilized for the community and for the owner of the property, right? It's not just the community wins and the property owner loses. That would never work. But it's got to be a win-win thing. So one of the ideas we have for this year is to take a map similar to what you see up here and present on our website, you know, where there are some vacant properties that within our business district, our current business district, and share with our local business community. Maybe there's an opportunity to contact our property owner or work with them on, you know, potentially developing. We'll be working with them on something. We also want to put a map together that shows, you know, spaces that are available for rent, right? Trent just mentioned there are 10 people he knows right now that are looking for a place to rent. Anytime a place comes open in Aynor for rent, it's like the piranhas attacking, you know, it's like everybody goes for it. We want to show the local property owners how valuable that is, to open up some really cool spaces that aren't just an eclectic group of buildings, but they serve a purpose. We've got a plan and an idea of what we want to do and how we want to do it together, what fits in what areas and this kind of thing. So, and certainly we'd love to share, you know, if there are property owners out there who want to rent their buildings or properties, we want to give them, our local business community, a place to go to and find that information. That's really the goal for this. So that's one of the ideas we got coming up for this year. The next one's a pretty cool one, or at least I think it's pretty cool. It's a rendering, so it's our use of AI here a little bit. And so if you can kind of identify where this might be, so on your left is the Chinese place. What's help me with the name of our Chinese place here on 8th Avenue? China. Thank you. And the building on the right is currently vacant. But, you know, this property here is not currently being utilized. What if we were, as a chamber, to come in and kind of clean that property up and make it available for a food truck rental space, right? If a food truck wanted to come and park here for Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and have an opportunity, what we would love to do is partner with that property owner as a chamber and work out rental terms or agreements, or how could we utilize this space? Maybe we have a rotating truck event. It could be a really nice place, right? And there's an ice cream shop 2 doors down. You can have ice cream after your meal, right? So these are the kind of things we're trying to do, right? It's a good example. Another good example here near the corner outpost. This would be the corner of 8th and North Main. Just again, another rendering of some ideas that we tossed out there to AI and just said, hey, create a space for us. This gives you a visual representation of some ideas we would love to see. I think Conway's kicked off, you know, they've done a great job down in Conway, by the way. They've been a partner. Their chambers have really helped us out. Loris's chambers helped us out tremendously, getting on our feet. But, you know, you've heard some of their front porch picking or front porch music sessions, right? We would love to have our version somewhat of a space to have a nice stage to do a bluegrass concert on a Friday or Saturday night, right? Bring some food trucks in town, shut off a few streets, and have some just live music, good food, and great fellowship. The town, we've thrown these concepts out, and the town has been, let's do it. Let's figure out how to do it. And so what we're trying to do is work with the town on reaching out to some of these property owners who have this vacant property until they decide to develop it. Is there a way for us to put some improvements on it that aren't everlasting improvements? We aren't building structures on it, right? We're just kind of leveling the ground, planting some grass, putting some shrubs out, putting some flowers on the corner, hanging some lights, and trying to get people downtown on a nice evening like it is out tonight. So these are just some ideas for us that we're trying to show our local business community. It can happen. Our local property owners, this can happen. So. All right. So we've done a lot of talking. Apologize for all that, but we really just kind of want to share a little bit with you guys. We'd love to hear some feedback from you guys. So we've got board members here. Don't want to keep you all night, but we would like to hear from you. If you do have a question or anything, I'd ask introduce yourself, introduce your business, or who you represent, and let us know. Man, we'd love to hear from you. So I'll open up the floor.
Business introductions anyway.
Let's take questions first. Let's do that. See if who's got questions.
That lady called me today, Ryan, and she asked, what are we doing to prevent more subdivisions from coming in? That was her biggest complaint. And I told her, so we can't stop that. That's not what our agenda is, right? We can't help what happens on private property. But we want to be, as a chamber, we want to, as people do show up here, they have a place they can support these local businesses and find usually local business on. So we know what kind of stresses it comes with opening your own business and maintaining that business. As people move to our area, they need services. And if you're in that service industry, I mean, it's a great thing for your business. Now, as a chamber, we want to keep, our struggle is promote business, but keep the culture, and we can keep it as long as we can. So that's kind of where we were in that tension, you know? So I'll offer that. I know that's some folks' minds tonight as I talk to folks coming in, but just want to put that out there. So if you want to speak to that, or anyone else, offer anything about that. You know, we can't.
I'll say two things to that, Trent. I don't mean to take up all the time here, but you know, the legislative event, right? Al Allen was there.
Yep.
Gave a great example of that very thing, of how, you know, what your voice can and can't do, and what we as a local community can and can't do, you know, in terms of that piece. It's going to grow, and that's pretty much Al's message. I'll speak to Mr. Al, Councilman Allen there, but you know, it's going to grow. It's just how does it grow? And that's really for us. Our goal is to fix the how does it grow problem, or I wouldn't say problem. I would say opportunity. How do we fix it? How does it grow opportunity?
I feel like it's a good time, there's lots of opportunity to bring in businesses and make some money. Like us, Aynor people, right, making some money. We have to have that infrastructure, not to have people, you know, there's lots of empty spots, a lot of grassy spots around here. Yeah.
Yes, Yes, sir.
Could I just want to mention something on that topic?
You would introduce yourself. Mr.
I'm
Jim.
sorry, Jim Becker, I'm the treasurer with Greenfield Estates
Thank you.
Owners Association. And a couple of things. Can you bring that map back up?
Sure.
Some of the things you can do, you can't stop it, but you also want to control the individuals, the type of homes that get built in the community, the type of customers you may have in the future. We have to, and we can do that, and we can control that. We just had that experience. If you look at the red section of the map there, and then you see where Greenfield Estates and the middle school is there in the yellow and whatever that other color
Off to the left.
buff is off to the left. There's just rezoning that went on 5 acres off of Childs Road off of St. John's in the back. It's not Aynor, but it is under the, it's Horry County. Someone bought 5 acres there, asked for rezoning so that they could put in 10 double-wide manufactured homes and start that small community. That's all agricultural zoned over in that section, and we did have some concerns because some of the stormwater will be dumping into some of our wetlands, stormwater basin, and it's always a concern for us and what goes downstream. But your voice can be heard in those planning meetings and in the next meeting with council. And we did manage to get some concessions that there would be some work done or looked at to make sure that the proper stormwater went in and done. But it's spot rezoning. We have to be careful about that. It's not really a popular thing to do. It needs to be more comprehensive, and I think you heard that. And if I could just take another moment, I'm going to send an email out. I managed in this business, or retired from business last May after 47 years in the IT business in another state. And my wife and I relocated here, and we're very happy here. I managed somehow to get involved through my Rotary Club down in Myrtle Beach. I'm on the Myrtle Beach Chamber of Commerce Residents Advisory Council. And we meet every couple of months and talk about things. And the nice thing is that they have asked people throughout the county to be a part of it. And they recently sent out a survey that's rather comprehensive, probably takes about 10 or 15 minutes to get through, but would give you an opportunity to have some feedback about what they're looking for, not only for that Myrtle Beach downtown tourism area, it's more comprehensive. And I'd encourage everybody to take that time to go to that link. They're looking for feedback. I know that there have been other owners associations that have been in the group, and other groups, they've asked us to spread that link out as much as possible to see if we can get some feedback from it. So I'll also do that. And the last thing I want to mention, I'll go back to my Rotary Club participation with the Chicora Rotary. We have a benefit that will happen on Sunday, April 19th at the Carolina Opry. And the great thing about it was it benefits the fine arts in Horry County schools. There's 20 acts that are selected from the schools to perform at this event, and Aynor schools took 4 of those acts from all the schools in Horry County. And that is a pretty darn good. And I've been 2 years participating and working that event and seen the kids and what they do from here. We have an excellent school system, which is why it's very important to do that planning and make sure that we have nice homes and nice residents, and that we don't stick something in the middle that doesn't necessarily fit just because someone tried to do so. Okay? Thank you.
Thank you, Jim. Appreciate it.
Yep.
The other questions are, how can I get involved? I was looking for that one. Somebody got out. We would certainly solicit any volunteer here we can get. There are different events we put on from time to time. If your business wants to sponsor one of our meetings, like tonight, Josh is gracious enough to do that. Anytime we can, we certainly appreciate that as well. So. Any questions?
I have a question.
Sure.
I'm Rebecca Johnson. I own the After 3 team, Child Development Center. My mom, Vicki Raven, is on Aynor Kitty Care for over 40 years now. Yeah, hot minute. I was kind of under the impression, and I'm not all into, rules and regulations and town council meetings and stuff, but is there people in the chamber that are able to speak for us in town council meetings? Because with her, she's been in business in Aynor for 40 years, but lives closer to Cool Springs with an Aynor address, but can't speak. You know?
Yeah, no, I think, I mean, my understanding, so I can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think you both can speak. You may know that, I don't know. They have certainly given us an opportunity as a chamber to speak at different occasions, and they've actually encouraged us to be there, be a part. So if there's a business need,
We
not
can
only.
speak, but we can't vote on it.
Correct, we can
Okay,
vote.
okay,
There's a vote piece. But we can't advocate, and I think advocate is a big word for what the chamber does. It's a
Right.
big part of it. By the way, your building is amazing.
Thank you.
Greg, we were talking about how, we need more of that, like what you guys are doing, so, and what
Thank you.
Fred and did recently. Those are the kind of things we need to see. It just really makes the town so much better. We want to be an advocate, so I mentioned it earlier, if you have a need to go with what council, come to us, like, help, we want to come together, more voices help, and so we will advocate, we're gonna do, we're not gonna just drive the Mack truck through town hall, to be clear there. We're gonna do it the right way. We believe that's the best ways of working together kind of conversation, so. And it means working with our residential neighbors too. We're not here to advocate for, complete residential things, right? There's so much we could do even there, but what we wanna do is make this town great, even greater than it is, so. I didn't mention this earlier, but beautification is another one that's on our list for this year. Working with, believe it or not, town has a beautification committee. We want to be more involved in that. Work with the Lions Club, they do a cleanup day. Just partner with other organizations, right, to do some things. We talked to the FFA, they mentioned to us that had impacts left over after the sale on Saturday, which I hope they don't. But if they do, we're gonna get them out here in these banners on 8th Avenue, right? So we do a little service project for them. And our goal is to, after, I think the town's got a bid out now to do some pressure washing, so if any of you guys are in the pressure washing business, and they wanna get some pressure washing bids together, to pressure wash our sidewalks, and we're gonna come back in with some cleanup efforts, paint and weeding and some of those things, so we'll have some dates announced for that, and you can get involved those weeks too. What else? All right, what businesses represent? Let's just go around real quickly and do that. You guys?
Second to none painting is our first meeting.
Second to none?
I'm Jonathan, this is Jay, this is Brandon, it's very nice to meet all of you.
Residential, commercial painting, indoor, outdoor.
Whatever you need, call second to none, we'll get it
Second to
done.
none. I love it.
Even with a boot on.
I'm strictly clerical and administrative right now. Hopefully I'll get.
Light duty only. So, I can say these guys have done some painting for us, actually painting the building up here, across the paint, so, they do a good job. Anything, trust those guys to go in and take care of the property. Anything from exterior, interior, commercial, residential, they do everything. Also.
You guys in the back.
Willie, First Choice Plumbing, administrative assistant Becky. Our office is in Conway, but we do residential and commercial plumbing. Try to stay away from the new construction because that's kind of a cutthroat business, but we're available whenever somebody needs to go stuff, drain, any of that kind of stuff. So on the side note, I got some bags up there with some contact information and a little bit of information about our company and everything. Please feel free to grab one.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Ladies, I think y'all represent two different businesses, okay?
I'll go first. My name is Lori. I'm a mindful health coach, so I integrate energy work into and nutrition into helping people change their health for better.
Great.
So I don't have a brick and mortar. I'm online, in-person kind of person.
Yeah.
So we're just kind of trying to see what types of businesses are in the chamber, how that would work.
Great, thank you for being here.
Tracy Hensley, I have my own project, my career as a food truck. We've been almost 2 years now in Conway, but we're actually renting now in Aynor for our commissary. And so we're new to the area, but we want to extend their offer to help with your dishes for food trucks, because that's their passion.
I can imagine, so thank you. It's great burgers, by the way. Great burgers. David, and we'll go to Nick. Just tell them who you are. David, everybody knows you. I know. Introduce the president.
belong to the meeting, or I actually belong to the meeting. Anyway, but, my family's been in the milling business since 1934. And, I keep doing that. And today I got 8,000 pounds of grits, and I got them on pallets ready to go. But, we also have a retail store, we showcase our products in here, but I also do, because I don't have enough to do, I also talk about it. But it's just a good country store, lots of kind of unique things that, our number one selling product is Highway 501 traffic jam.
Oh, it's good.
So we sell a lot of that to go get vessels and stuff like that.
Because we look peanut butter and jelly.
It does. And actually we make peanut butter too.
Yes, they're made plain, the best. It's all natural.
Nick Jordan, uncaged, custom leather work, but quickly turned into custom marketing products, leather patch hats, primarily what I do now.
Yep. Great handmade stuff, like this is the
All
kind of stuff
handmade.
that's, yeah, awesome. Thank you. Cage handmade.
My name's Wyatt McCracken. I don't currently represent any businesses, but I am actually running for the mayor town council. I'm one of the candidates coming up, so.
Thank you for being alive, man.
The election is on March 31st. It'll be up here at the town hall. I believe it'll be up from 7 to 7.
So those of you who can vote it then, right?
Come on, it's a big problem. I would vote for you, Wyatt, he's my baby.
Mr. Jim, that's you, right? Yeah. Okay, all right. Oh, yeah. All right.
Craig Hardy, I'm Trent's younger brother. I sell cars and do what he tells me to do. It's Hardy Auto Sales in 501 in Conway, and sell them, fix them, whatever you need. We're there, been there 30 years, and everybody to buy a car from us.
And I believe everybody has. I dare you to run around and not find a Hardy sticker on a car. Just thought too. Great, thank you.
I'm Sarah with Coastal Outdoor. We help with all your billboard needs. We have everything from Darlington, Little River, Surfside, Garden City. We've got it all over the place. So we're distributing an extension of your business and helping maximize all of your opportunities.
And they're also very generous because they gave us billboards for the car and car show and the Christmas parade.
Trunk or treat.
The trunk or treat. Yes, they put a little right in there.
Got a beautiful digital billboard right in the town. It's a great opportunity to get people all 501 in the town. Thank you. Ladies in the back.
I am Cricket Knuckles McCracken. Wyatt's my brother-in-law, so y'all know that. Me and my assistant Jen Cook represent Hometown Tax Service. Sorry we're a little late sneaking in, but this
I don't
is a
know
busy time
why.
of year
I
for
don't
us.
understand why.
Yeah. Income tax, payroll tax, sales tax, if it's got tax, if it rhymes with tax. we can probably do it. So,
And
we
they're right
are
around the corner.
literally, our back door will push you right back, right out here. We're on 8th Avenue, directly across from Vance.
Yes, ma'am.
Just an individual, a resident, well, not of Aynor, of Galvin, very but into my backyard, so I wanted to know what was taking place.
Thank you for being here. There's people like you who make a difference, so thank you for showing up. Appreciate it. You and her. Correct answer, sir. Correct answer. Yes, ma'am. On the couch?
I live here. I do not own a business, but I have been working at the Crooked Oak over in Conway since it is up on the doors. So if anybody would be like so awesome and try to open a little restaurant here and give me any information whatsoever, get tight.
You're the girl.
Well,
You're the one talking to.
Record that, get her name and number.
Yeah. Exactly. What was your name? Sorry.
I'm sorry, it's Joanne Coral. I live in
Thank you.
I'm Amy Flora. I'm with the Orange County Council on Aging, and we have a senior center right across the street. And I have my administrator is here standing up, and her name is Renelle, and so I'll let her speak whenever it gets to her.
Renelle Bowers, we represent Orange County Council on Aging, so we support seniors 60 plus throughout the county. We are a nonprofit, we are not a county agency, but we have 10 senior centers throughout the county, one of which being in your back door right here at the Aynor Senior Center. So we are
explain for us, the town owns the building and you guys sort of run the programs inside, is that?
That's above my pay grade, sir. But yes, the town owns the building, they give us access to it to serve the seniors. So we have access 8 to 2, Monday through Friday, and then the town uses the building as needed after and on weekends for meetings or whatever.
In my understanding, I think they just got a grant recently to remodel that building.
They did, which follows along in exactly what, like I said, everything we were already thinking, so we're super excited.
So what is the timeline? Has anybody heard the timeline on that? Not yet, or you
I
afraid
think
to
it's gonna
say?
be a little longer than we had hoped, but, you know, with permits and grants and all that kind of stuff, it is what it is. At least a year probably, but maybe a year and a half.
I'm Emily Griffin. I'm with TD Bank. I work out of our Myrtle Beach office, but I live here in Aynor. One of the things that we do best is make banking more human. So how can we simplify this complicated processes for business owners?
I'm Sandy Davis, I work with Fairbanks Regional Economic Development Corporation. We recruit industry, and also support our existing industry. We would love to bring some more to our Cool Springs Park on Highway 319, but as Ryan mentioned earlier, one of the things companies want to see when they come into an area is where they are going to host their clients for lunch. So I'm really supportive of the restaurant.
Yeah, I've heard that many times. There is nowhere to, one mule actually went south because there's nowhere to have a meal. I had a guy, I understand, I had a guy that was wanting to take his folks out to have a meal for lunch, and he wanted to bring his business to where he found business partner. There's nowhere to eat, so they went somewhere else. So it's the story I was told. So I'm Trent Hardy, Hardy Insurance Group, and Hardy Auto Sales. Yeah, just glad to be serving on the board. It's been a pleasure to work with a good team. There's been so much energy around the table, and it's been very contagious. If you have time and you want to get involved and you want to see businesses succeed, now's a good time to do that, and I'll say that. I think if you're watching online or anyone else out there, if you are wanting to take a chance, Andrew's a good place to do that right now.
My name is Keith Oakley, my wife Michelle. We're Yankees, but you know, sorry. We moved here about 2.5 years ago, and I was very involved in New Jersey and the Chamber of Commerce and the board of directors, everything. So I just wanted to come see if I could help. I volunteered to do a couple things with you guys, got to do some more with you guys. That was fun.
Yes.
So anything I can do to help, I'm here.
Yeah, we definitely heard you were a small man, so we got you signed up again next in October. Keep that date open. There was a lot of s'mores served that night.
Yeah, we
thousands.
They had to go out and get more marshmallows a couple of times.
I know y'all sort of done an introduction, but why don't you tell everybody about your business a little bit more on what y'all serve?
My name's Vicki Raven. I've been in Aynor Kitty Care 43 plus years. I'm working on my 3rd generation now. I've got several of my babies right in this room. We're reunited with this one, and she's grown up on me and moved away and had her children. So David's oldest son was my very first baby that I hung my nurse's career up to start keeping. So I've watched Aynor grow quite a bit. I live in Cool Springs, but I've watched Aynor grow, raised a lot of children, and I wouldn't have a home anywhere else.
Thank you, Ms. Vicki. You made probably the biggest investment of anybody in this room. We thank you for that. You're building local business owners is what you're doing. Thank you. Thank you, guys.
And my daughter Rebecca.
So you run the After 3 team, is that right? So tell us about the After 3 team. What do they do?
We have a preschool program, so I serve ages 3 to 5. So normally she does newborn to 4 and 5. She can do newborn to 5, but they kind of just come trickle on down to me so I can prepare them for school.
So they're angels by the time they get to you, right? Paulette, you want to tell them about your business?
I only work for the chamber.
Yeah, pretty much.
No, I actually do have real jobs. I took over my father's business of selling crop insurance. So it's Trimmer Johnson Crop Insurance. I insure local farmers way out in the country. soybeans, corn, tobacco, all those things that you used to pretty much be the driving force behind the town of Aynor. And I also have ironically, a property rental company called Good Luck Rentals. So, but anyway, I have some mobile homes and some apartments and stuff around here in town that I rent out as well.
Thank you for all that. Well, appreciate everybody being here tonight. Josh wanted me to let you know there's a lot of foods that are coming to eat. Right, Josh? You don't want to take it on.
Hey, that's too much to take on.
And behind the camera,
Oh.
Miss Alexis. What's you introduce?
I'm Alexis Adams. I work for Ryan.
Oh, she works for me. She works for me.
I work for Paulette for the chamber. I work for Ryan to make money. So I have to fund my daughter's dance lessons somehow.
Got a good team here. So Alexis has helped us out a good bit. She's a newest addition on our team. So appreciate that. All right. Well, we'll be around. The board members, please interact with us, ask questions, give us some ideas. That's what we're here for. So we appreciate your time. Don't want to hold you up any longer. We'll try to get some of this information that we shared today in a more legible format out on our website, hopefully. So thank you again for being here.
Thank you.